Hi, everyone. Welcome to the episode number 2 of our series, The Road to Cybersecurity. My name is Pedro Drimel, and on this channel, I help you how to become a cybersecurity rockstar. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about can you get started in cybersecurity without a degree or experience? It is a very interesting topic, and it comes to a very personal type of experience and also opinion. So there's no like one size fits all type of thing. It really depends on which experience you already have, if you have none, or if you already have like a degree or not. So let's try to dive into this, right? First, what is having a degree, right? It's kind of self-explanatory. You either have like computer science or cybersecurity, a bachelor degree, for example, or you have a master's degree. Doesn't matter much. One thing that I realize when people are asking about this is it's kind of a more U.S. based type of question. In Europe, for example, most of the countries, most people I know that are in this into cybersecurity, kind of graduated. It doesn't seem to be a very money issue to do your degree in Europe. That might not be the case. That might be the experience I had with some colleagues, previous former colleagues or colleagues who live in Europe. But I'm not sure about Japan or Asia Pacific as a whole. Does not seem to be an issue as well. It's not a big deal in South America, that's for sure, and not even in Canada, right, where degrees are at least less expensive than in the U.S. So first of all, this seems to be kind of a, like U.S. based issue, right? And from a brief Google research, I saw that it seems it's more or less 35-40K a year to get your bachelor degree in computer science, right? If you're talking about like Ivy Leagues institutions, that could go up to 70K a year or maybe more, right? For example, at Dartmouth, I'll give an example or on Dartmouth a little bit later. But there is a new option, if you're looking for a degree that I've seen people mentioning, at least on the web. What is just this one? Yeah, you can. Yeah, okay. So for example, this one, it is now 17K for 2 years if you want to get a degree in computer science. So the university is the WGU. It seems to be like an affordable computer science degree. I haven't taken it, like I cannot, say like it's good or it's bad. You might be able to find this information online as well from people who took it. But definitely, it's much more affordable than the traditional schools, right? They mention like some, ITU foundations, Linux extensions, and all that. So I'm not, going to compare, an Ivy League degree with this one. That's kind of out of today's topic, that's for sure. But that's kind of an interesting option. Like if you're looking for a cheap, at least degree to get started. We will of course talk later. Do we really need a degree or not? But before that, I also wanted to mention about experience. Basically, any experience you have matters. For example, if you're coming from a IT professional background, right? You're working on an IT help desk. That's kind of more important, so to speak, if you're comparing like some just fresh graduate coming out of computer science degree, for example. Any experience matters. Like for example, if you're a veteran coming from an intelligence background, you could easily kind of easily get into a cyber threat intelligence area as well. If you're a programmer, you could be like have lots of experience with programming, so you could be doing like penetration testing, source code review, and security research as well. So any experience you have does matter, right? For example, I remember a friend of mine who comes from like civil engineer. He, ended up becoming a very talented malware researcher. So whatever experience you have, that will be helpful. Even if it's like a customer service experience, or any technical experience you have, that's certainly helpful to get into the field. And it's kind of the analogy between a contractor and a fresh civil engineer graduate. For example, let's pretend you're trying to you have the project approved and you're looking to hire someone to build your house, and in the block where you're going to build it, you heard from neighbors, like 5 of them, from a guy that built the house. Let's say that, like like the builder. And then you have like your cousin or anyone that that just graduated, from a civil engineer, for example. Who would you trust more, right? Someone who really did something, or someone who went to school, right, with more theories around it than the actual practice, right? So on another side, if you're just looking to paint one bedroom, like something small, you might considering hiring someone with less experience, because that's not a big deal. And it kind of is the same, in the corporate world, and also in cybersecurity as a whole, where people with more experience will be able to lead more important projects, and usually those kind of experience will be required for the senior level type of jobs, right? But for the most part in cybersecurity, and maybe you could consider that in IT in general, what matters is what you know, right? And how good you are to do, and not really your background or your degree. So keep that in mind, that whatever skills you develop within cybersecurity is going to be way more important than whatever degree or diploma you have with you, So, and why is important on holding a degree considering cybersecurity? So does it mean that, you don't need a degree at all, whatever you have, it's useless? Of course not, right? Especially if you're talking about computer science, the deep computer fundamentals, for example, like programming, computer architecture. Those are some topics that will be very helpful while pursuing your career in cybersecurity. Networking as well. Like some friends of you that you met at school. That's important. You might also have some mentoring in depending where you go. So, for example, this is a professor at the University of Dartmouth. He's been on multiple security conferences presenting lots of security research. So, like, it doesn't mean like, okay, just get a cheap degree and it's gonna be good. Of course, like if you manage, or if you're able to get, those more elite type of degree, you might have something good that will help you on your journey in cybersecurity. So, for example, this one, you get lots of mentorship from someone with lots of experience in the hacking community, right? So it's always a good advantage. And HR check is also another advantage, right? Especially for traditional companies like non-cybersecurity vendors, where, for example, they might require that everybody in the company, every full-time employee, will need a bachelor degree, right? That could be the case. So if they have a cybersecurity department, it could be out of the applicants to be selected for the interview only because you don't hold a degree. So that could be an issue, right? So having a degree in the case is an advantage. It also comes to price, and and maybe the most expensive thing being the time that you have to dedicate on having a degree or not. It's very personal. I would say that if you're young enough, and you can go get a degree. Otherwise, that should not be stopping, as we'll be looking into a little bit later on this video. And what about a cybersecurity degree? Would that maybe put you ahead of others? I haven't taken this degree, this path, so I cannot really 100% talk about that. But on the other video, when I mentioned like how can you get started in cybersecurity, I mentioned that cybersecurity is not really a science, right? So it's kind of intriguing that we have such bachelor options where it's not really a science, and it changes a lot as well. And at the end of the day, most hiring managers like have no clue, what they teach at this type of degree. They might have better idea what they teach at a bachelor degree in computer science, for example. But you kind of miss also the opportunity to learn computer fundamentals, as like computer architecture and programming at a deep level. So I kind of like the idea of the Bachelor of Computer Science, and then evolving into cybersecurity. So that's my opinion. But of course, it doesn't mean you should that's totally useless, whatever. If it's something you really feel that's a good deal for you, go ahead and do it, right? I just also I wanted to mention a few opportunities in cybersecurity that some more related with having a degree, and many others without necessarily you holding a degree. This is a recent position open with Meta. It's actually I believe it's going to be reporting to a former boss of mine, a friend of mine, and like this is like security review, so it's pretty much doing security analysis on source code from most of Meta products. And you see here that they highlight like universe graduate, right? So they really want someone with a background in within the academia, right? So, but they also mention other interesting things like publishing research, blogging, presentations, bug bounty, and CTF. So while they kind of consider someone coming from university as a graduate, they kind of also like the idea you doing CTFs and all that. I would say that even if you don't have a degree, but you're good, at publishing security research, you would be entitled for the position. But I just want to show like one example where big techs, for instance, are looking to hire people coming out of university, even in cybersecurity. So not just a software engineer as we commonly see, right? Another example here is a one statement basically from the U.S. government, right? This is a quite an interesting quote, right? So basically, what they're trying to do here is avoid the people having a degree to start to work in cybersecurity in the government, and also looking to lead by example, and also make other vendors and other companies kind of follow that to fill the gap between the lack of cybersecurity skills, right? So on this code here, it's so thanks a lot for work across federal agents. We're leading by example, ensuring that more Americans will have access to cybersecurity jobs in the federal government, whether they are an employer or contractor. I'm equally pleased to see a whole new set of private sector companies from more than those in industry publicly highlight the efforts to expand our national cyber workforce. And it's kind of one great example, and I'm very pleased with this, because if you think about on holding a degree for a second, you go to school, right? And you have your essays, you have research that you need to do, and you have some tasks and all that. So you kind of follow a path, right? You kind of follow what you're thought to do and all that. But hacking and cybersecurity as a whole is pretty much thinking outside of the box, right? It's not following a given path. Many security researchers and talented ones, true rock stars, didn't even go to school at all. Some of them maybe are like high school dropouts or whatever. So having a degree or not should qualify you for being better or worse than anybody else, if we're thinking about cybersecurity. So I kind of like this initiative. We have there's a bunch of positions open and companies have a hard time hiring, talented people. So, having that requirement as having a degree doesn't make much sense to me. A few other examples on positions that do not require a bachelor degree. This is one. I'm not sure. I don't believe it's still open, but like digital forensics at the Department of Homeland Security. Here down below, they kind of mention something like, wait, that they do not require. So degrees are not required for jobs in DHS, but it's interesting knowing your level of education on the topics you studied. So they kind of highlight like we don't really care if you have a degree or not, but it will be interesting to know what you know, right? So any training that you might have taken or high school, I'm not really sure, but this kind of just highlight that degrees are not really a requirement, except for having the knowledge, right, of the job that you need to do. Another two examples, or actually three examples here. This is one from CrowdStrike. It's like a remote position, and here it's an intrusion analyst. They kind of say on having a bachelor degree as preferred, right? So it's not a requirement. I must say that if you do have the cybersecurity fundamental skills and all that, you're able to show that to the hiring manager, you would be able to get the job, as it's not like a requirement, right? They really eager to know that kind of, for example, understanding national state adversarial motivations and TTPs and all other requirements than actually having a degree or not, right? So I like that it's the kind of the last one here. So not like the first one. And also this other one, I think this is like in Europe, so like UK, Germany, Ireland, Israel, whatever. And also it doesn't mention anything at all, like in terms of degree. I like that they put like competition of capture the flag competitions, blog posts, articles, projects, coordinating source to showcase previous work in the field, and experience or interest using programming and scripting language like Python or Go. So there is no like any comment at all about you having a degree or not. And by the way, it is a 100% remote role, things that people really like having. This one is a senior vulnerability researcher with Exodus Intelligence. I don't think it's open anymore anyways. It's a very straightforward, like you just need to demonstrate ability to discover and exploit zero-day vulnerabilities in mobile device. Like that's kind of, they don't care if you have a degree or not, as soon as you can do the job. So that's kind of that's kind of the standard for cybersecurity vendors. So if you kind of start to think about it, like for example, let's say you're going to work at a cybersecurity department from a oil and gas industry, right? They don't make money with cybersecurity, so they might say everybody here needs a bachelor degree. If you don't have one, see you later, right? But on the other hand, cybersecurity vendors or more risky business, for example, in financials, they need you to make money. So they need the best talent, and they don't care if you really have a degree or not. That's not 100%, but that's the most of the cases within the cybersecurity industry in terms of the vendors that we have at the moment. They are looking for talents. They are looking for people with, thinking outside of the box, and not necessarily someone that just followed a degree, did these essays and that, but couldn't really learn the fundamentals, the skills in cybersecurity to succeed in the job. For the most part, what they care is that you really know how to do the job. So the bottom line is you can become a cybersecurity rock star and pursue a career in cybersecurity without a degree or an experience, of course. But maybe the $1 million question is, and how can you do that? And here I'm gonna just quickly go through some examples. So the top 3 mistakes to avoid and that I see people making when trying to break into cybersecurity. Maybe some of them require a full video on that. And the number one is you must give something in exchange. And I see people kind of forgetting this. In like it's not unusual to see that, especially with recent graduates. They believe that they have like a bachelor either in cybersecurity or computer science, and they are ready to go to the market, and they'll upload their resumes, and they'll get hired and all that. But the thing is, you must give something in exchange, and just having a degree is usually not just having a degree and a certification. I'll get to that point later. That's not enough. It doesn't really show what you know. Keep in mind that people hiring you went to school like 20 years ago, or 15 years ago, or something like that. So they don't really know what you learn. So if you don't show it in a given way, and we'll get that in a few minutes, but they won't really, you don't stand out from the crowd, right? So you need to give something in exchange for people to pay you money. And the hiring manager and the team that will be hired kind of need to rely on you for given for some tasks and projects. So they need to feel that you will be able to do the job. So just having a degree that's not enough. That's very few to exchange for money. That will be the kind of the number one mistake I see people making every now and then. The number two is maybe the biggest one is focus on certifications, right? Like there are thousands of people with certifications, and for the most part, 90% of them are even more just focus on theories and all that. So like, what does CIA stand for and all that BS, right? So that doesn't say anything at all. It doesn't prove a point. And I would say that if you're trying to get into a position where people are requiring you to like having the certificate as something, as a requirement, pretending that you kind of know something, maybe that's not even a good team to be part of. Most of people I've met within the industry, and most talented ones, they don't have certifications. They don't care about that. It's maybe for some government type of requirements. Okay, that could be the case, but not the focus. The focus shouldn't be there. That's for sure. I know that's kind of interesting topic, so maybe I'll make a video about that in the future. But just focusing on that's for sure something you should avoid. As well as like your mindset, right? You might be sometimes thinking, hey, I don't have the experience or I don't have the degree. You need to know that there are people without work experience that got into cybersecurity. That's for sure. And also there are people without degree. That's 100% true that got into cybersecurity as well. So your situation is unique, right? It's up to you to find a way to overcome your obstacles, right? Like whatever is in front of you, that's certainly something you can overcome. And so like just forgive yourself. Don't think this way. You can definitely, get started in cybersecurity without degree or experience, that's for sure. But, and now, what are the kind of three things that I see that I believe it's kind of important, to get started in cybersecurity. It doesn't matter if you have a degree or not. This is kind of, both of them. The number one thing is help someone, create a tool that will be used by the cybersecurity community, make a presentation at a cybersecurity conference, right? That's something usually much appreciated by the community, and you will learn a lot by doing that. So that's so like share knowledge, be part of any community and help someone. That's definitely something that will put you apart from others looking to go to the same place you are going to, besides just having a piece of paper that says that you have a certification, blah blah blah, or a degree, whatever. So this is something much better than just theories and all that. Another part is networking in terms of getting to know people in the industry. Like for example, attending B-Sites, it's a small, well, not small anymore. It's kind of a big cybersecurity conference around the world. They have many chapters in pretty much any big city in the US and around the globe as well. So just look for B-Sites as an example here. I believe there will be a B-Sites Las Vegas next in August 2024, and also in New York City in October. So let me just show this quickly here. So for example, the New York City chapter is going to be in October, and there's B-Sites Las Vegas early August in 2024 alongside DEF CON and Black Hat. So attend those events, get to know people, and talk to them, and kind of attend the talks that you feel they are more interesting, and eventually you get to know someone who'll be able to really not maybe lend you the job, but help you with some skills you're missing, or get to someone hiring as well. There are many companies that go to those huge events, looking to hire a talented cybersecurity professional. So maybe that's your chance, right? Another one that's kind of more common is like training, right? You might want to take training, and our books, and of course participate on CTFs. That's really important. So like I remember I got engagement only, like it's been a long time, but just because I met a guy at a training that I took. So sometimes it's not just about whatever you learn, but the people you meet at those places, right? Community can really drive your career forward and faster than just learning by yourself sometimes. So I would highly recommend that. As an example, for example, on CTFs, there is one CTF that it will be happening this in 2024 as well. Yeah, this is the Capture the Flag event from the DFIR report, guys. This seems to be a very interesting one. It's more on the defense side, it seems. As they mentioned, like you can choose between Splunk or Elastic for a SIEM tool. Even if you have no idea what a SIEM tool is, or just go there and try to apply, and you're gonna learn something, that's for sure. And you maybe even online you're gonna be talking to other people that you haven't met before. So I would definitely participate in CTF. There are reverse engineer CTFs as well. There are offensive, of course, many hacking CTFs. So that's a great way to learn your fundamentals skills in cybersecurity. That's kind of, let's go just a quick recap here. So I talked a lot about ways between degrees and experience, but if I could summarize, if you have a degree, if you can get about degree, if you can get one, right? If you can, it could expand your possibilities, right? Internships is a great example, and some degree or master's degree related type of research opportunities in big companies. If you can, don't worry, right? The most interesting cybersecurity opportunities anyways won't require a degree. They are really more, worried if you really know how to do the job or not. That's the point. If you don't have experience, use anything you have, whatever background you have. Maybe your background is in intelligence, maybe your background in IT. That's, very helpful. And work on your cybersecurity fundamentals skills, learn things deeply, help someone, go to conferences, do CTFs. I would say that the only thing stopping you is yourself in this industry with so many opportunities. So that's pretty much what I had for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe.